Morning, 7th grade. I trust you all had a wonderful Easter yesterday. Hope all is well and good with your family. And welcome to week 3 of distance learning. We're going to begin each day this week, as you probably have already noticed, with a few fun facts on my favorite artist, Leonardo da Vinci. Wednesday commemorates his birthday, and just as a way to pay tribute to him, I'll share with you some facts each and every day. And I hope you learn something, and I hope you find some enjoyment. To preface this week's drawing lesson, I want to share a few pieces of paper with you here, and the pages that I'm about to share with you look very similar to a blueprint. In fact, they are blueprints. They are blueprints to success in drawing a house-like structure using two-point perspective. You're probably familiar with one-point perspective, where there is one single vanishing point somewhere on the page to which all objects seem to fade. As you can tell in this slide, there's actually two vanishing points, one to the left and one to the right. So that's why it's called two-point perspective, because if the edge of the structure continued, it would vanish to the right, and if the edge of this structure continued, it would vanish to the left. Okay? Here's a piece of paper that shows the rooftop attached. Here's just a similar page with a lot of the measurements that I'll be guiding you through. Moving along, this is the particular phase where we're starting to add some finer details, windows, doors, rooftop, etc., etc. And by the end of the week, if we can get somewhere close to this type of setup, I'll be really, really happy. Now, it looks weird because there's partial logs and partial bricks and some different types of shingles and whatnot on the roof. That's just to demonstrate that you're going to have a lot of choices coming your way towards the end of the week, and actually on into next week as well, because this is probably going to be an assignment that's going to take us a couple of weeks. Okay, so hopefully you've got yourself a decent sheet of paper. Ideally, we'd want to use some rough measurements for the page at 9 inches by 12 inches. So this is 9 inches here, this is 12 inches here. Standard notebook or computer paper, I believe, is 8.5 by 11. So if that's all you can come up with, that's fine. Your measurements will still work. Okay, it's no big deal. I'm going to go with just a pencil today, large pink eraser, and if you have a ruler, now would be the time to get it out. I really, really hope that you have some type of a ruler that you can utilize this week with our drawing lessons. I know a lot of you guys made rulers with Mr. Nick in Tech Ed, so hopefully this is an opportunity for you to utilize that particular project that you had made in Tech Ed class. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my paper vertically so you just see the top edge. And what I'm going to share with you is my page is basically 9 inches. So what I want to do is I want to make a measurement halfway through the top edge of my page. So half of 9 is 4.5. So I'm going to do a measurement 4.5 at the top, and I'm going to do a measurement 4.5 at the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to connect those two dashes, and if you can't see the whole page, that's no big deal. I'm going to connect those two dashes just to show you that we are creating a horizon line. Okay, so what I'm basically doing is I'm drawing a line halfway through my page, or at least as close to the middle of your page as you possibly can. Okay, so I've got two equal halves here, and when I turn it this way, it creates what I'm going to refer to as a horizon line. Okay. Now, one of the early measurements that we're going to utilize is 4.5, 4.5. So you're going to hear me referring to that a little bit today and possibly on into the future. And we're going to use 1.5 a lot. And we're going to use 2 inches and 3 inches, and I'll explain what we're doing every step of the way. Just try to stay with me, okay? All right, so from the extreme left, this is the left-hand side of my page, we're going to come over 4.5 inches like I had indicated before, okay? So I have kind of a cheat mark here at 4.5. It's halfway between 4 and 5, so I'm going to put a little indicator right there. It's kind of more than a point but less than a dash. Okay, so I came over 4.5 inches from the extreme left. All right, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rise above this line 1.5 inches this way, and I'm going to go beneath it 1.5 inches that way. So to make it easier to understand, I think I'm going to turn my page vertically once more. And this is that 4.5 inch mark that we made earlier. So here's what I'm going to do. I hope I have enough room here. I might have to slide it a little bit to the left here because my ruler's kind of lengthy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Right on that particular mark there, I'm going to locate my ruler at 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches is right there on that dash mark. So what I'm going to do is, since 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3, I've got 0 down here and 3 up here, and I've got 1.5 inches here and 1.5 inches here. So I'm going to come up to the 3, and I'm going to go down to 0. Okay, and when you turn it back to its original position, you will notice that it kind of looks like a very basic sword that you might make in Minecraft. 1.5 inches this way, 1.5 inches that way. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do to make it a little simpler for us to understand. I'm going to put a point here, a point here. I'm going to put a vanishing point to the left. Remember, this is called two-point perspective. So we got a vanishing point to the left, and we got a vanishing point to the right. Okay? All right, now here's what I'm going to do. We're going to fade this side of the building towards this vanishing point, and we're going to fade the side of this building towards this vanishing point. Okay, this side is going to be longer than that side. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to fade this side over 3 inches. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do to show you what's taking place here. This is going to be 0 on my ruler. Okay, so that's the edge of my ruler right there. And over here, my ruler, hopefully you can see, is connected to the vanishing point. So I believe I said that we're going to draw a 3-inch diagonal line. So I'm going to start at 0, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to stop at 3. Okay? If the top edge of the building is 3 inches, so too should the bottom edge be 3 inches. So here's the 0 edge of my ruler. I'm lining the other side of my ruler up with the vanishing point, and remember, 3 inches is the goal. Okay? So these two lines, though they may not be perfect, they should be really close in length. Point here, point here. We're going to connect those 2 points with as straight a line as we can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Should be close, however. Okay, oops. Technical difficulties. Let me grab another pencil. Sorry about that. Okay, very good. Now this side is going to be 2 inches. Okay, what I have to do here is I might have to turn my page a little bit to show you what's going on here, because this ruler, like I said, is kind of long. But I turn my ruler upside out, and there's the 0 edge of my ruler with the top point there that we had created earlier. The other part of my ruler is connected to the left vanishing point, and we're coming this direction 2 inches, so 1 inch less than the front side. Okay, so I came over 2 inches, and I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Maybe I'll turn it this direction. Okay, again, my ruler is upside down, and there's the edge, the 0 edge of my ruler on the bottom part to that original 3-inch line. And the other part of my ruler is connected to the left-hand vanishing point. And I believe 2 inches is the goal. So there's a 2-inch line. Okay? All right, again, these lines may not be perfect, but they should be pretty close in length. There's a point there. There's a point there. We're going to square it off with as straight a line as we can create. Something to that effect. And the last thing I'm going to do before we sign off for the day is this. We're going to erase, let me get my large pink eraser here. We're going to erase part of the horizon line that goes through the center of our structure. We don't need it anymore. We're going to keep it to the right, and we're going to keep it to the left. But we no longer need it through the house itself. Okay? So you may have to watch and re-watch this video a few times in order to figure out how to get your drawing to this particular phase here. But I'm confident you guys can do that. Okay? So, good luck. We're going to add to this each and every day. Remember, it started with a horizon line through the center of our page. We came over 4.5 inches. We rose up above 1.5 inches. We went down beneath it 1.5 inches. Points at both ends. We came over 3 inches on this side to the vanishing point, 3 inches down here to the vanishing point. On the opposite side, 2 inches here, 2 inches here. We squared it off. Kind of looks like a coffin, huh? A coffin-like design. But basically, this is going to be the front edge of the house. So this is going to be probably where our door will be. And we're going to put a big bay window on this side, so you kiddos can draw some activities going on inside the house. But those days are to follow. Okay? For now, I wish you a great day. Good luck trying to figure this out. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Use your ruler to get the measurements as close to what I did here as possible. All right, kiddos. Happy Monday. Happy drawing. And we will be talking real soon. Bye-bye.